Still want to listen to you. We have got some of the questions. We want some further help and support to better understand this cultural intelligence. So, I think the next question, if Vajat, maybe you.
Yes, hi, Dr. Cari. I have a question. I wanted to ask that if I want to learn some other cultures, but I can't even speak their language or even understand their language. So how can I get to understand their culture even if I cannot speak their language?
So one of the curious things is when I've done presentations, and most of my research is dealing with people that speak English in as a second or third or fourth language, and that is why it is so important. Um, with speaking to someone that doesn't speak any common language is obviously going to be very difficult. You'll need to have an interpreter or somebody with you. But in most cases, when I've been going around on tours or guest lecturing or speaking in any context, it's just about really creating that trust circle. So I really go through the basics. I speak slowly, more clearly. You're paying attention to body language. And even with somebody that wasn't speaking English very well, with body language and smiling and that nonverbal communication, you can make an understanding. Because I actually, shamingly, don't even speak Spanish fluently. And I live in Spain a lot of the time. And that's because we live in a very intercultural part of Spain where most people are speaking English. So when you're trying to communicate with somebody, like I said, that doesn't speak your language, it is very difficult. You're going to have to find some medium or somebody that can help you. But be cautious, because when we're learning about different cultures, I think that is perpetuating our racism and our judgments about, other cultures. We hear a lot about, you see in the news, oh, first Black teacher died and da 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 da, or the first Chinese female is a CEO. And those kind of headlines actually trigger even further queries, because you think, oh, are Chinese women not so smart? Or, oh, why aren't they in leadership positions more? Or, or, oh, I didn't realize it was so special to be a Black teacher, or whatever the race is. So I always want to approach a person with a separate thinking of them as a separate reality, as a mystery. And I'm curious about, why do you think the way you think? Let's talk about that more. Oh, I believe this. Why do I believe that? And a lot of times when you get new information, you have a chance to think, oh, well, actually, that makes more sense to me. Or we agree to disagree. And there's a lot of really good videos on separate realities and different things that I can share as well.
Okay, thank you. And I have another question that some cultures are very don't allow other people to fit in their vicinities or in their culture. So if I want to do some business over there, or I want to go and live there, how can I make myself comfortable by fitting in? Like take the example of Ecuador or some USSR states that were you can say that got their independence from the Russian state. So how can I fit myself in there? They are very difficult to fit in. They don't allow other people to come near them.
Yeah, and this is my quest. This is my mission. You're Yeah, you found the difficult area, but it is one of those things. Actually, in my presentation yesterday, one of the ladies has moved from China into the UK and was sharing with different barriers, and I can see that, because you get lots of misunderstandings when there's no knowledge of a certain culture, way things are done. For example, I have a Welsh friend as well who is friends here with a Dutch guy. And in the British humor, they will kind of insinuate they need help. So he'll be like, oh yeah, I really have to go pick up my car at 1 o'clock, but I don't have a way to get there, and going around the houses to see if the guy will say, oh, don't worry, I will help you, I will drive you. But from the Dutch perspective, he didn't get the hints. So he's missing the point. So the Welsh guy got frustrated because the Dutch guy wasn't offering, but the Dutch guy just said, well, just ask me, what do you need? Can you drive me? Okay, great, let's go. He was on a direct communication level. And I think instead of everybody trying to stick within their own approaches and their own cultural values, you really have to step out of that comfort zone and keep poking your nose in and get somebody on common ground with you to have an open dialogue. And like I said, very conscious communication.
Thank you, Dr. Cari. We have another guest also, Dr. Mansoor Ahmad. He has a question also.
Okay.
So, Doctor, please, Dr. Mansoor.
Yes, hello everyone. Am I audible?
Hello. Good afternoon.
Yes, of course, Doctor. Please carry on.
Okay, thank you so much, Dr. Kerry, for such a wonderful session. It was, I believe, a really informative session for a student. Actually, I have a question regarding organizational culture that when we say that someone who is new want to enter in a new organization and having so many barriers, challenges while adjusting him or herself in a new culture. So, being a new person in an organization, what is step we should take to overcome all those challenges?
So there is a process that I utilize, and basically when I come into a different organization or school, I am actually dealing with a lot of head of inclusions for international schools. And part of the adjustment period really happens down with that core group and mentality. So if you can imagine, if everybody had a quest to improve their cultural intelligence, it wouldn't be so hard to cater a culture of inclusion, because people wouldn't be so judgmental of outsiders. They would be more curious and welcoming. And that is really the mission and the goal. And there's steps around how to do that. And what I have found the most successful method is to really have that one-to-one with whoever your inclusion or intake officer is, with kind of your welcoming team around you, or that sort of your key close supporting network. And once you understand the individual barriers and obstacles and goals, it melts away. A lot of these issues really melt away when everyone is showing up properly with that openness and willingness actually to really understand and embrace perceived differences, because I think we're just really all connected. Is that helpful?
Dr. Mansoor? Okay. I hope it was helpful for Dr. Mansoor. If he's there, he would give his feedback soon. We have another question from Ahmed
Yeah, Dr.
Hakim.
Kerry,
Yes.
thank you so much. I'm here. And thank you so much,
Yeah.
Dr. Kerry.
Uh,
It is really helpful for me and for the students who are going to join organization very soon. So I believe that it is a really good suggestion and feedback from your side. Thank you so much, Doctor.
okay. Thank you, Doctor.
Right. Good day, doctor. This is Ahmad here. My question is that, like you told me, like you told all of us, like you are doing business with lots of many countries, right? Like Bahamas, Spain, or a few more. I'm doing business in Jamaica, and I found out that they are very rich in culture, and I can easily communicate with them, and they can easily allow me to interrupt in that, like go and work with them, and like they have no problems with me. Like, what which culture you find in these countries the best one, or I can say the one you can communicate easily?
So just to understand your question, so that you want to go and do some work in Jamaica. They're already in conversation with you, and they're interested in partnering or whatever. And your question is about how to communicate better with them. Is that right?
No, no. My question is, I'm already working with them. I'm good with them, right? Well, you told all of us that you are working with Bahamas, Spain, and few more countries, right? So,
Yes.
which culture you find like which one is the best one? Like you can say like I can communicate easily.
Which is the best one? Well,
Yeah.
in Bonaire, they mainly speak Dutch, but there's a lot of English as well. So really, I think I actually enjoy working in all the countries. I work all across Europe, even with the people that I have the least language capabilities with, or I have some of the best relationships because we really integrate a learning component and a social component. So in multicultural situations, and to increase that trust element, it's better to also, when we go to a country, when I go to a new country, I always have the business integrated with some social aspects. So you get a taste of their culture and what their values are, but you're also really learning about the individual and not making an expectation that you're going to Jamaica. Because now what's happening with migration is exceeding the growth of population. So we see now everyone's moving around. So, it's very rare that you see people that are born and raised in their country staying in their country at the moment, which is quite curious. So that's why we have all the kind of the expats, and you have groups of people from their country in a different country. So it's really bridging, getting away from, I'm coming to China, or I'm going to Jamaica, because in all of these places are multiple cultural identities. And it's just making sure you have those boundaries set up, which makes it very simple because we want to avoid misunderstandings.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
We had another question from Sayed Wahaj, I think, if he's there. Uh,
Yes, sir, I'm here.
please.
Dr. Kerry, it's not actually a question, but I wanted you to talk about emotional intelligence as well, if you would be kind enough, please.
Yes. So emotional intelligence is a precursor to cultural intelligence, and it's really how we are managing our emotions. And once again, without that cultural intelligence, without the understanding of how our psychological system works, I feel like it's just a precursor. It's something that was in development from IQ into EQ, and now we're really developing into CQ and cultural and psychological intelligence. Even though emotions are very important, I think that by addressing or like working on well-being and inclusion and happiness, which is a real important priority in business at the moment, we have to understand actually how we can control our own emotions with our thoughts. We all don't need to feel our thinking. And with that disruption, you'll have a lot more well-being in your workplace, and reduction in anxiety, reduction in sick time. And it's a very curious conversation. And I have lots of data that proves how that works.
Dr. Kerry, we have another participant, Rihanna Kurban. Rihanna, you have got any question?
Assalamualaikum, sir.
Waislam.
Hello, ma'am. It's very nice to hear your experience and your all the information which you delivered us. It was very nice. I would like to ask you that what is the best way to promote diversity in our like culture?
So diversity, you want to include diverse perspectives. So it's like we mentioned, really avoiding your and being aware of the language that you're using, that there's no microaggressions. as a culturally intelligent leader, it's creating that safe environment and that trusting environment, and really that people have that faith to bring their whole selves to work, and that there is reduction in judgment. And as your cultural intelligence skills improve, where you become aware of how you're making judgments, how you're perceiving your surroundings and your reality, because that's why we call it a personality. It's your personal reality. And it's only from you. You're the only one that sees the world that way. Because, like I said in the presentation, we're all unique. So when we step back and we really think of it from that place, and with inclusion and diversity, you want to have multiple perspectives heard. But a lot of times our business leaders block that with their biases. So, oh, great idea, but we've done that before. Oh, that doesn't need to happen because I already know what my customers want because I've been doing this business for 20 years. Or you hear all of these different dialogues that go on in leaders' minds that prevent them from really listening to diverse perspectives. So it's creating that culture within the workplace that you can have that authenticity and that people are all heard. And one of my biggest pointers is I want to, with this company, if you follow me on the web link, you will see I'm implementing what they call a circular organizational structure. So we're pulling away from a hierarchy. And what that will do is have more collaboration and focus on co-creation instead of just one person in charge of making all of the decisions. And I feel like the studies that I've done, that shift with artificial intelligence, with all the latest technologies, it's easier to adopt. Because if you look at a traditional company, a lot of people say, oh, well, you know, there's about a lot of blame, and we want people to be accountable and we want people to be heard. So we want to move away from the marketing division. Oh, that's the tech division. There's a reason it's called a division. And we want to move away from divisions. We want to get united.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Do you have any other questions from the audience? Okay. It seems that we have no more questions, Doctor. Thank you very much, Dr. Cari Lechon. I'm really grateful that you took time for us. And I hope that in future, some of the sessions may lead further. I would be requesting your time in the near future for some more interesting sessions like today. So
yeah, it would be helpful. I would be happy to go more into how to develop the skills and the strategies. And again, it's just really with the limited time because there's lots of information to provide. And as you can imagine, I could probably do a whole semester on this.
of course, I understand because we have such a limited time to discuss the one of the hot and the biggest topics. We have a very limited time to stress on the important and pinpoint things. So I hope that we would discuss the topics like we did for today's discussion, and we would take out some mutually agreed things that could be beneficial for our students. For maybe I would invite my faculty also in the next session that I hope to conduct with you. Then we would be discussing some of the things that according to our culture or need of the hour, what we feel that should be stressed. So we will be trying to benefit your experiences in the time to come. So once again, I would like to thank you with my heart and soul for your kind time and guidance over here. So thank you very much,
It's
Doctor.
been my pleasure. Thank you all.
Thank you all. Stay safe. Take care.
Enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you, Doctor.
Bye. Bye.
Bye.